Hey everybody, what's up? Renfell here, back for another Baldur's Gate 3 guide. A few days ago, I did a sort of first steps with a controller on the PC, right? I did sort of my reaction to, hey, I'm using a controller to play the game, this is what it looks and feels like and everything else. And that video was like the second time I had ever picked up the controller, the first being with my sorcerer, and I was like, this is amazing, I gotta make a video about it. There was a lot of great stuff that came about as a result of that video in terms of people asking additional questions in the comments, and I've since been playing with the controller for I don't know how many days now it's been, but it's been multiple days since then, and I've learned a lot more about the controller and also some of the things that I think really work with the controller versus things that I think really work better on the mouse and keyboard. And I'm finding that it's really interesting to play this game in that sort of a hybrid style because I much prefer the exploration mode with a controller. Some of the UI elements of the controller are better than the mouse and keyboard, but on the other hand, some things like inventory management are much better on the mouse and keyboard, and there are some other things, so there's pros and cons to each. I want to walk you through what I've discovered so far, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you like this video as we go through, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. We do daily streams at 11 a.m. Central as often as possible. There's a Discord, join it, links are down below. There's memberships and all that other stuff, which you'll get a commercial for at some point through the video here. But in the meantime, let's switch over here. There we go. And took a second for it to switch over with Streamlabs. Let me go ahead and move this window out of my way. Alright, now that we're in the game, one of the first things we could take a look at is I'm in the default mouse and keyboard mode. Let me turn on my Streamlight too. I kind of forgot to do that when we started the video. So we're in mouse and keyboard mode here, and you know I've got my turn bound to the right mouse wheel because I can't stand the middle mouse wheel. But we're here in camp. We can drag the camera around, everything else. You know how to do these things. One of the first things I want to point out that's a big difference between these two is, as an example, if I hit the N button to bring up, my character sheet. Oops, I ran over here. I guess it's not N, it's just I. The inventory slash character window right here is what we get, right? Where we get the summary, we get, here's your stats and everything else, and here's, all these things. These are your skills, these are the detailed view of your character, so on and so forth. And you can find all your details in here, as well as your saving throw bonuses and everything else, and all your, this is not a bad way to present it. This is a very traditional tabletop look and feel to things. But I would argue, and this is just my personal opinion, but I would argue that the console version, I think, looks a lot cooler. This fulfills my the analytical part of my brain that is a tabletop gamer loves this right here. I absolutely think this is amazing. However, the gamer in me, we're going to switch over to the controller UI. The gamer mode in me really loves this. So I go here. This is the way it looks on the console. And I think this makes me feel like I'm playing The Witcher 3 right here. Like, this is a very, I like this layout. Like, I love this from a gamer's perspective. I can easily see a bunch of inventory on the right, and then I can go over to characteristics, and I can see all the things that are affecting my character. Features that I've got, like Faith Warden's Stride, which is a passive. Just all sorts of cool stuff. I'm a folk hero. Then I can go to my reactions. If I have any reactions, I can set them up, toggle them off, so on and so forth. Go in under my proficiencies, see all them laid out here, and the whole time, everything on the far right hand, yeah, over there. There we go. Far right hand side of the screen, all my stats are right there. And then I can get into my statistics and see everything easily at a glance here. And then I could just go down and I could check all the other characters that I have at my disposal. It's on the controller. It feels very good. So, I think for me, I kind of prefer the way the controller does it here. But like I said, the analytical part of my brain, and we're gonna switch back over to the mouse and keyboard right now. I don't mind this right here. Like, either one are great, but the difference is between the two, But one of the areas where I think that the mouse and keyboard is better is at inventory management overall. So if I ever need to like move something around, this looks like a nightmare, right? But it's very easy for me to go up here to the top and sort by whatever latest, and then filter it by equipment only as an example, and it'll only show me that. It's very easy to do that. Filters are pretty easy on the console too. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But what is much easier here is if I go into the window for all of my characters. This window right here on the mouse and keyboard version of the game is without a doubt the best thing about the inventory management system here. Once you learn all the ins and outs of this, and I'll have a whole nother video coming later on about inventory management in general. I have a quick tip on inventory management publishing. Well, I don't know when it's going to publish in relation to this video, but I recorded it this morning. So there's lots of things to look at here. So if we go over here to like Lae'zel, you know, I can easily just hit like shift click and select 3 lines of things if I wanted to, and I could move those over to another character. If I just want to do like maybe this many, you know, we could do that. We can go in here and say, okay, let's just take these. Let's put those over here. Boom, I've moved those over. And then, oh, no, wait, actually I want to move those back. Let me single click those with the control button selected, and let's just go ahead and move those back to Lae'zel. So very easy to do that in mouse and keyboard, but if I go over to the controller, it's not that easy. So let's go to the character sheet. So having all this displayed is awesome. It's easy to open up the filters. You just click the left-hand mouse or left-hand thumbstick, and I can sort by equipment, and now everyone's inventory is sorted by equipment. That's nice. That's nice. But I find that the movement between here, you can't, at least I don't know of a way yet. If you do know of a way, this would be the perfect time for you to chime in the comments below and say, hey, guys, I've mastered the controller. This is how you do that. So remember how I was showing you earlier in mouse and keyboard mode, you could select a whole line of items, or you could select multiple items, you know, 3 or 4 if you wanted to, and then mass move them over to another character's inventory. I have no idea how to do that on controller. I don't know if that exists here, but you can still go in here and like left click and then choose to like send to Gale, you know, it'll send him the shoes, right? So you can do it that way. But I think for my money, at least so far from what I've discovered, even though I think the filter system works very great here, in terms of moving items around between characters, I think the mouse and the keyboard works a little bit better. First, because you get this mode right here. This view is amazing, and then be able to filter everybody's inventories and go from there. I think is very useful to being able to do that. So that's one of the areas where the mouse and keyboard shines. However, I will argue until the day I die that mouse control of the character to move around is far inferior to the controller. The controller is so much better in terms of moving the character around. So right now we're in traditional mouse and keyboard mode. You know, I gotta pan my camera around. I gotta figure out the angle that I want, and then I gotta click on the ground, and I only move over there. Like that's the simplified version, or I can like hold down the mouse left button and do this right here, right? That's the other way to do it. I don't find either one of those ways intuitive. But if I switch over to the controller, this is freaking awesome, guys. I absolutely love this game on the controller. Just the camera follows the character. So it feels like a traditional like third-person RPG, and I can choose the angle. I can go up close like this. So we feel like we're maybe playing, you know, not quite as close as God of War, but, you know, maybe Last of Us, you know. I mean, it's definitely got that third-person RPG feel. But then I can pull the camera back, pull it back, pull it back. You notice how it's getting a higher angle as we go back as well? Well, this is because the camera will eventually, if you pull back far enough on the stick, it will eventually go into the tactician view, right? The detailed overview here, the tactical map, which you hit with the O key on the keyboard, and then you just push down again, and the camera immediately just settles back down into that right there. So it's a really seamless way to move your character around. I like to come back a couple clicks, right about here. This feels good to me. Maybe one closer sometimes, depending on what I'm doing. And then I just naturally will move the right thumbstick as I move around so that I'm panning the camera with the character. By the way, this is lots of years of drone control as well. Chris and I have done a lot with the drone over the years for our travel stuff over the years. I haven't used the drone in a few years, but that's where this comes from. Lots of video game time and lots of drone time, everybody, using two thumbsticks at the same time. But anybody who's ever played a lot of controllers knows exactly what I'm talking about. This just feels intuitive. It feels great. It controls great. I think that the movement on the controller is far superior to the mouse and keyboard mode. So for me, the way I've been playing the game is I do all of my exploration just like this. When I go to a merchant, I will generally sell with the controller. I'll do all my interactions with the controller. The only time I switch to mouse and keyboard is when I need to do like inventory management and I'm going to move things around because this guy's super weak. Like if you check his stats, like he's got a 10 strength. He gets overweight quite frequently. And so I often am transferring things from his character to another character as we've gone through the game. It's getting a little better because I found some more more bags, excuse me, to help out with the space issues. But there better be a bag of holding in this game. That's all I'm saying. I need a bag of holding, everybody. So in any case, I'll do that. But everything else has been the controller, including pretty much all of my combat. The only time I've switched to mouse and keyboard with combat has been when I can't get the camera angle that I want because the controller is being a little finicky, which doesn't happen very often. If you've watched any of my streams, and I stream every single day, it's all done with this. And you'll notice, and I'll usually make a reference to it when I'm switching over. Plus you'll see the UI. The UI immediately, well, I don't want to say immediately. It takes about 1 second for the UI to switch over when you switch to the mouse and keyboard like right now. So now it's back to mouse and keyboard mode. So whenever you see the UI switching like that, you'll know when I'm either A, tabbing out, or B, I'm switching over to mouse and keyboard mode to do something. But usually it's just if I can't get the camera angle I want, I'll come into the optimal view here, you know, the overhead, and get the camera exactly where I want it. But I don't have to do that very often, which is really cool because the controller really does work extremely well, and it's awesome. So, combat, I don't think I have any combat encounters loaded right now. Let me go find one, and I'll show you what I mean. But I gotta go find one real quick, everybody. What's up, everybody? Quick commercial break here to give it a shout out to our guild champions, who are the highest tier memberships here on YouTube. Ancient Entity, Assassin Gamer 94, Bubbleonia Rising, Crazy's Relative, Mujin, and Remedy. Thanks so much for the highest tier membership. And thanks to all of the members who support the channel, because you keep me doing this full time. You too can become a supporter if you're new here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Join as a member. There's 3 different tiers. We do lots of special stuff, private polls, private videos. You get a shout out if you're the highest tier membership, but you can also do one-off donations in the form of super chats on any live stream or premiere you see, and of course super thanks on any upload or YouTube short. Whatever you can contribute, it's great. Keeps me on the air full time, keeps the cats fed, keeps the homestead running. Anyway, back to the video, everybody. Alright, so I've got an encounter here where I've got a couple of bad guys that are wanting to attack me, and over here I've got my party, and over here are the bad guys. There's only a couple of them, so this is a really easy fight. I just wanted to load it to show you what it looks like on the controller versus the mouse and keyboard, because we've all seen the mouse and keyboard stuff a lot. I find that, let's take a look at mouse and keyboard really quick just so that we can see the difference here. One of the things I like about mouse and keyboard is when you go to a character.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Here's a good example. It immediately shows on the right here, on this bottom right hopper, all the abilities that they have and if they're grayed out or not, or if they have a full range of abilities at their disposal. It's really easy to see on the mouse and keyboard. And I've played this way for 3 years through early access, and I think this is a very well-designed system. So I'm not bashing on it at all. I don't use it as much as mouse and key. Excuse me, I don't use this as much as the console controls in combat anymore for a couple of reasons. But I think that in big fights where I need to get super technical about things, I will always revert back to the mouse and keyboard because I think it is a superior format for strategic encounters and having everything available at your fingertips in front of you. Like all of your abilities are laid out there for the most part. You might not all be in the hotbar. You might have to open up a spell slot here to get access to the ones that aren't on the hotbar. For the most part, you've got everything here, right? It's at your fingertips. You're good to go. Now, it doesn't show quite the same way on the controller, but one of the reasons I love the controller for combat is because it's very quick and easy to move around, and it's sort of like, if I could argue that it's like it's the quick version of combat. It's using your the abilities that are gonna are being your staple, like your cantrips and things of that nature, and dealing with small fights like this that are meant to be done very quickly with a couple of abilities. I find the controller far superior in these scenarios as opposed to the big fights where you need to slow it down, take your time, be strategic, and everything else. So let's I'm on Gale right now. You can't see him because my big mug's in the way. But right here below me, where my elbow is the picture of Gale. So that's the character we have selected. And so I would hit, to bring up the, bumper here, and I would either select an ability here or go to the next one over and select one from here. So let's just do a cantrip. So I'll go over here and do a firebolt, and we will just do like that. And so I moved the mouse over. I moved this over the same way I would do on the mouse, right? However, you don't have to do it this way. You could just hit over on the thumb pad like so, and it goes directly to the target, which makes this so much superior for quickly targeting your enemies, and then boom, firebolt on the target. Now I'm going to end my turn. We're going to go to her. So I'm on Lae'zel. Well, what do I want to do? Well, I can manually move over there if I want to, or I can quickly just hit the thumb pad and move between targets. And then I can click here and say, all right, I want to jump. I want to jump over there, yeah? How quickly can I jump? I'm going to go prone. I don't care. Let's do it. Boom. All right, now we're down here. Guess what? Boom. Bye-bye. Nice to know ya. In turn. Wait, she had another attack. I forgot. Well, all right. It's all good. So here, Shadowheart's not going to be able to do anything, I think, because of the POV. So, yeah, she would need to get down close, and she can't. I probably need to get out of wild shape here.
Time to press ahead.
What can we do? Can we get into bird form? We can. Can I move yet? I don't think I can move. I was gonna fly down to him, but we're done. Alright, intern. He'll come around the corner a little bit. Oh no, Gale's been shot. And then he ran away. What a sneaky little biznitch. Alright, I'm gonna click jump. I wanna jump right up in here. Boop! Hi there, buddy. Hi, you wanna be friends? No? Okay. It's alright, I didn't want to be your friend anyway. No, it's not allowed. Action surge, baby. Alright. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is combat in a nutshell. One of the coolest things I like about the combat in the controller is that as soon as it's done, it immediately moves everything. So my main character, whoever is your face character that's selected up here, it will immediately move the camera back to that character, and it will move all the other characters back to that character without you needing to do anything. The controller has a lot of things that it does good, everybody, in Baldur's Gate 3. But I will say that the mouse and keyboard still fulfills a role in a variety of places. So here's what I have to say in closing. I think that for me, Looking at the controller versus the mouse and keyboard, I think that I'm probably using the controller about 85% of the time, and the controller, and the mouse and keyboard maybe only about 15% of the time, somewhere in that range. And I think that it just works for me. I'm really, really, really happy that this game has such good controller support because I'm readily admit on some of my videos, I do a lot of work at the computer, and just over the years as I've gotten older, I have tendonitis issues in my hands, and that's not going to go away. You know, it's just an age thing and also just use over the years. So anything I can do to, you know, make things more accessible for me as a gamer, since this is also my, my job, I have to take advantage of that. And so for me, being able to, hop on my Xbox controller and just easily play this game has made it much more enjoyable. As much fun as I had in early access, folks, I'm having way more fun in live because I get to do that and I can play it in a combo of ways. So it's great. So love to hear your thoughts. Drop them down in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily live streams at 11. Hopefully we'll see you there. Join as a member to support or drop a super chat or super thanks. Discord links are down below. Until next time, everybody, stay safe. Happy gaming.